And everybody's like, well, you know, you got to, and I talked about different things in spirituality. No, you got to talk about politics. And I did my thing. I've been the fish out of water over at CNN. I mean, you want to talk about a fish? I mean, I was in the middle of the desert over there. Here I'm a fish out of water too, because I don't really talk. I don't care about the parties, and people don't understand that in America. They just don't understand that. It's good to be a fish out of water. You don't have to necessarily have friends. Don't do yourself a favor. Don't make as many enemies as I have made myself. But you don't necessarily have to have a lot of friends. And let me rephrase that. Don't ever lose your soul for a favor. When you go down, I was doing an interview today with somebody and they said, what Aaron is saying, wrap it up. I'll be back with the rest of that story. It's a good one. Hang on just a second. All right, we're back in Orlando, Florida, where I'm doing the American Revival. I'm standing here and I'm thinking, you know, it's like that movie where we're talking about the president and, you know, and then he's just screwing everything. He's behind me, isn't he? I want to talk to you a little bit about what I was saying when I went into the break is I was talking to somebody today, and this is a big business person, and they said, so what's the secret? What's the secret? Because you were bottomed out, you know, 15 years ago, and you had nothing 10 years ago and now. And I said, the secret is not caring. Losing absolutely everything, and then saying, I'm alive, and I have my soul. And I'll even lose my life, but I won't lose my soul. That's where we have to be. And we have to, the secret is getting there before we bottom out. Because somebody has to be strong to hold everybody else up. And Josh, we were talking during the break, and you said that you're changing your whole life. How do you mean?
Well, I've got a pretty stable job and a good family. You know, we're not, you know, in trouble in the grand scheme of things, but just over the last year or two, I've just realized that something I've been drawn to finding out more, learning about the truth of the country and just the way things are supposed to work, the way they used to work. And I'm back in school now taking political science classes. I'm not looking for an actual career change. If I never get a new job, it will be fine with me. But just having that, you know, that knowledge so that I can sit here and say, I know what's going on. Now, I might not be able to myself to do something about it, but I think that is the secret. If I do that and Chris does that and everyone in here does that and people across the country do that and get the knowledge of what this country was about, why it was started.
There's a reason why they changed the history books. I mean, Woodrow Wilson, who I hate with every fiber in me, is the one that changed the history books. He got together with his scholarly friends at Columbia, and they changed the history books. At the same time in Harvard in 1920, they changed the way we read the Constitution. In law school, ask any attorney, how much of the Constitutional Convention did you study? None. They don't even listen or talk about the arguments made on the Constitution. They don't read any of the founders. They read case law. That's 1920. The reason why they do that is because if you don't know what we were, if you don't know what the meaning is behind, you just drift. You've lost your polar star. And that's what we need to change again. You're on the exact.
And that's how you change it, because if you have a case, a Supreme Court case, and you go back and judge it by the Constitution, it's a certain way. But if you can change it in 1980 or the 1880s,
exactly right,
and then you use case law, then you change it a little more, then it's completely there is no Constitution.
This is what's happening in America right now. We all felt something was wrong, and we did this. Instead of going, hey, what does that mean, and looking to a politician, we went and we checked navigation. And we looked to the Constitution. We looked for the polar star, and we went, it should be right. Holy cow, it's over there. And that's what's happening in America. Once we lock ourselves on that polar star, it's going to be good. I want to take a quick break, and when I come back, I want to tell you about the next thing that I think is coming. And I want to ask you your opinion on whether or not this would be a good resolution to illegal immigration, because that's next on the president's plate, and they're going to jam this through amnesty. Do that next. During this past hour, I have challenged you to explore who you are and what we're all about, and I do that every single day, I hope. Question with boldness even the very existence of God, for if there be a God, he must surely rather honest questioning over blindfolded fear. Thomas Jefferson. That phrase changed my life. Question everything. Don't look for the answer you want to be true. Look for the truth, and then just hold on to it. We were just talking here about illegal immigration and the numbers that are going to change. I mean, once you get illegal immigration passed, if the Democrats win, then they have control for the next 60, 70 years. Same thing with the Republicans. They're playing politics. I think that we have a problem in America of people who understand and appreciate this country. And I was just out, I had to take a phone call outside, and I was walking across the street, and the guy stopped his car, and he was from Jamaica. And he said, "Glenn Beck, man." And I said, "Yes." And he said, "I love you, man. I watch you all the time. I'm going to be here tomorrow." People who are from a different country understand this country because they know how crappy their country is. I think we need to lead the way on illegal immigration, not amnesty. Legal immigration. I think we need to start an Ellis Island program. And we welcome people in here. You got to go through classes. I'll help you learn English because you're trapped if you don't know English. I'll help you. And you know what? People can play games with you if you can't speak the language. So teach them English. Teach them the real history of America. They want that freedom. Otherwise, they would have stayed in their own place. They don't want corruption in their new government because they know what it was like in the last place. Do you think we could sell to Washington? Do you think we could find a group of people that would stop playing politics in Washington and start rebuilding real citizens in America? Do you think we could find that? Susan says no. Does anybody? Who says yes? Wow. Bill, you think so?
Yeah. If you look far enough, you'll find all the people you need. But we got to dig for them because they don't want to come out.
Who says no, that we couldn't? Why? Does anybody want to say no, Susan?
There's no integrity in Washington. It's not going to come from there. There's no integrity.
So then how do we solve the illegal immigration problem? Because they're going to solve it one way or another, John.
Well, what I've experienced like last night, I saw that there was an accident in our town, and it was a hit-and-run accident. And so this guy pulled out in front of this kid driving his car, and the kid hit this guy, and this guy fled the scene. He took off. And there was a guy in the parking lot who saw this. He jumped in his truck. He chased that guy down because he recognized what was wrong. When Americans see something wrong, they stand up, and they will not tolerate this. We're just waking up. We just got hit by the car. And so Americans are now coming alive, and we're hungry.
Do you think that this puts a damper on the Tea Parties, or do you think it explodes now? It really wakes America up.
This rips the veil away,
right?
And it sets it on fire.
Okay, back in just a second. Great. Back at UCF Arena, Keith.
I think what is mostly important about the desire to bring about change is obviously a passion to bring about change, but also to bring about this change with, like you said on your radio show, with the anvil of truth and nonviolence, the hammer of nonviolence. I think just the constant pressure of telling the truth with that passion.
Let me tell you something. Our relationship has to change. Your relationship with me has to change. You have to have the anvil of truth and the hammer, as Gandhi said, of nonviolence, and hammer that truth away every single day. You need to bring one extra person into the boat every day. Hammer an anvil of